this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. First of all, I must apologise. I'm actually filming this in the afternoon, and I don't generally film in the afternoons because of this problem, which is obviously the sun streaming through. Now, I'm hoping it's going to move around, you know, soonish, and then we're not going to be suffering with this, you know, constantly coming through like this. But yeah, I don't know whether I've timed it quite right or not, to be honest. So what we are here to do today is I've got this book here, Victorian Life in Photographs. Now, I love the Victorian kind of photographs, and, you know, I've had kind of several books over the time with Victorian type photographs, and I have sold them in my book page bundles as well. I'm just going to clean these. And I have sold them in my book page bundles as well. So yeah, I thought let's take a couple of photographs out of this book and just kind of have a play around with them, and, you know, just make them look pretty on something that we can use in our junk journal. In this book, I have to say, I wouldn't necessarily buy this book a second time because the images are actually much bigger than I would normally kind of choose. So there are some gorgeous images here, but they are a little bit on the big side for what I would normally kind of, you know, prefer. And the pages that I have put in my book page bundles have been from books with smaller images than this one, I think. So yeah, but, you know, I thought let's come along and just make use of some of these anyway, because, you know, I don't obviously want to waste them or anything. So yeah, we're just going to kind of make use of some of them. So I'm just going to go through and select some that I think would be nice to use. So, you know, where there might be a picture, for instance, where they are, you know, too big really to use, then I'm just going to tear them down, or, you know, make them smaller basically, so that they're a more usable size. So let's just have a look. I mean, this one's quite funny, isn't it? This woman, she looks like she's scratching her bottom, doesn't she? I'm sure she probably can't feel her bottom, to be honest, because she's probably got all them layers of petticoats and what have you. So yeah, she's probably not really scratching her bottom at all, but that's how it kind of looks, doesn't it? So I might not use that one. Let's just have a bit more of a look through. I mean, this is a gorgeous one. We've got all these different things here going on with these people sat down. So let's just take this one, and we could probably do it in maybe even two, get kind of two pictures from this one. Let's just see if there's any others. I mean, this is a nice one, isn't it, with this oval picture, which we could probably use, or we've got this. So let's take this one. Okay, right, I've got a few now to use, so I'll just put that one down. Okay, now what I've also got here are some of my this is from, you know, that, oh gosh, what do you call it? You know, like the scrapbook album that I was using as my art journal recently. So these are those pages, and yeah, they're quite good because they're sturdy. They are this buff colour, which I really like, or craft colour, which I really like to use anyway. So I think this would be quite nice to use with these. So yeah, let's kind of mix the two. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just kind of take the portion out that I'm going to use as the photo. So for instance, this one, I mean, obviously I'm not worried about what's on the back because I don't like that image anyway. So I'm going to use this section. Now I have to say, I would absolutely love to be able to use this in an oval. I don't seem to have anything here around my desk that is oval shaped that I would be able to use. So I'm going to just take it as it is. Now, I saw something really interesting recently on Barbara over at 49Dragonflies. She did something really cool, and yeah, I would really like to give that a go. I don't know whether this is going to be too thick to do that. But what she did was she took her image. So I'm just going to cut this down like this. And then what she basically did was kind of tore out a hole in the paper to see the image through. Now, this may be going to not work with this because, like I say, I think perhaps this is way too thick to actually get that sort of, that look. But let's give it a try and see, because it looked so cool. Now, she then put like a circular piece round that then actually made like a dream catcher, which was really cool. I'm not going to attempt to do that, so I'm going to just kind of do it like this, I think. But hers looked awesome. So we're going to just kind of have a play with her initial idea with the tearing out of the hole, because I just loved how that looked. So I can tear it a bit further. Now, because this is quite thick, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it quite how she did, because she actually had this torn thing going on where her pages were kind of curled back like this. Now, this is not the ideal, you know, in hindsight, this is not really the ideal sort of paper to be using, because of course this is quite thick. I mean, I thought this would be awesome to use, but yeah, actually in hindsight it's probably a bit too thick for this. But having said that, I would have to probably reinforce it if it wasn't this thick, you know, because then it wouldn't really be sturdy enough for having as a pocket. So yeah, it swings in roundabouts, to be honest. So we're just going to, because I want that sort of curly, curly-ish bit like that. Okay. And then, you know, my picture is kind of poking through the middle. Now, I'm just going to quickly tear this down. I did try and do it just now, but because it's quite thick, it's actually quite difficult to tear it down. Okay. So, like that. So far, it's looking pretty rubbish, isn't it? So, I can be going to be able to improve on this. But who knows, we might not. So I'm going to just cut this down. Now, again, up to you really. I'm kind of thinking probably the easiest thing actually is to cover the entire thing, because I might stitch around this and then I don't really have to worry at all. Whereas if I just kind of glue it in there, it's going to be a sort of vulnerable spot where it could then get caught every time I use this as a pocket, you know, if that's what I'm going to do, use it as a pocket. It's fine if it's going to be used, I guess, as a journal card. But yeah, if it's going to be used as a pocket, you don't really want something that then is going to be causing it to be catching. So I think what's best to do here is actually ink up around this edge piece before I actually... Oh, where's my my blendy tool? Honestly, I mean, I thought I was really organised when I was coming on for this video, and now, honestly and truly, the second that I have come on, within 30 seconds, everything's disappeared. I mean, clearly I wasn't as organised as I thought. I can't really claim that things have disappeared. I'm sure they weren't there in the first place, and I thought they would be there. But yeah, let's kind of go round. So I just want to take this round here. And I'm doing this before that picture goes in, because I think this is probably the easiest way to do that. So, oh, that was well caught. Okay. So, that, like that. Okay, and I'm going to just glue this down around the entire thing. Now, I quite like, you know, those curly kind of holy bits, you know, where it was actually bound into the book here on this edge. I quite like that. So I'm going to try and leave those because I think that's actually quite cool. Now, just going to check that I might be better with it that way. Okay, so again, just press that down and then just spread that glue everywhere around there. Okay. Now, I could have probably inked that photograph. I might have to ink that photograph in a minute, because I think actually in hindsight it perhaps would look better with a bit of ink going on. So, like that. Okay. But yeah, I just loved the look. When I saw Barbara do that, I thought, oh, that looks so cool. You know, I really wanted to come along and do it. Oh gosh, made a horrible job there. So yeah, I don't know quite what happened there. There must have been glue. Must have been glue on there. Let me just quickly spray that. Try and get rid of some of that. Oh my goodness, now I've got no water. What is going on? Oh well. Other than the fact that I've completely ruined the picture by having way too much ink on there. Oh, this is not going well. This is like a disaster video. I mean, let's hope that the sun is blocking out all the mistakes that I'm making. suspect it's not really. Right, so I'm just going to cut that down like that. Cut it down here on this edge and here. Okay. And then what I've got here left is obviously from this edge. Now I didn't bother putting any glue there, so I can just fold that back like that. And then I can just literally tear that strip off. And the only reason I've done that is just because it would have been very fiddly to try and get, you know, get those holes kind of put in. So yeah, I just thought it would be quicker and easier to just literally tear that in its entirety. Okay, right, I'm not sure what I'm thinking to this so far, and I'm sure probably many of you are looking as well and thinking, oh my goodness, what's she doing? That's not looking like anything so far. And I totally agree. It's not looking like anything, is it? It's just looking like rubbish so far. Right, now I've got these stamps here. And again, in hindsight, I actually probably could have stamped the entire piece and then torn the middle bit out, because now obviously I'm going to be trying to stamp this and avoid this middle bit, which, you know, actually is just rubbish, isn't it? I should have just really stamped first. But hey, because this is the first time I've ever done this, you know, I hadn't really kind of thought through logistics and, you know, what was going to work best. So, but, you know, I mean, so long as we can get the rough look, we can do another one in a minute where we do actually kind of do it in a more methodical way. So like that. Okay, so we've got that, and then let's have a bit of this one. So I love these stamps. I got these just from Amazon. I'm not sure what I actually searched, I've got to be said. But yeah, probably just like label or tickets or something like that. So, but yeah, they just came up on Amazon. But they're lovely, lovely stamps, aren't they? Okay, and then I've got these funny circles. So I'm not sure that I would call these a postmark. I'm not quite sure what they're supposed to be, but maybe like a luggage label or something like that. So let me just try and stamp that off to show you. Okay, yeah, so that's going to look quite nice, isn't it? So perhaps we'll have that going here. Okay, oh, that's nice, isn't it? And then it has got that 15 cents, I don't know. Well, let's have that on there after all. I was wondering about not having that, but actually I think we can have that. I think it would look cool. So yeah, I should really put these on a block, but you know me, my block is pretty filthy. So yeah, I'm probably better off not using the block, to be perfectly honest. Right, okay. So love how that looks so far. It's really, really, really nice, isn't it? And it's got obviously a very grungy kind of look to it. So I'm going to go around and rough my edges up because, you know, I really like doing that. Again, these are all optional things, and you know, I'm not saying that everybody likes roughing their edges up. I know you know, lots of people don't, but I just think it's a brilliant way to get added kind of texture and you know, interest going on. So I'm just going to ink around now on the edge like that, and then I think all I'm going to do is then there is like a little tickety type piece here, and I'm going to stamp that onto another sheet of paper. So just see if I've got a scrap somewhere that I can use. So okay, actually probably would prefer something different coloured. So yeah, maybe I could use maybe this. So I'm just going to stamp this on here, and then I'm going to just take this and staple it on, I think. So like that. Oh my goodness, how much do you love that stamp? That's such a nice stamp, isn't it? This is the first time I've used some of these. I think I'd only used one of the stamps from this set so far, so, and I've had it for ages. Yeah, sometimes it's like that, isn't it? You buy some stamps and really particularly buy them for one particular stamp, and then, you know, ages can go by before you end up using the rest, really. And then when you do, you think, oh, why haven't I used these? They're lovely. That's a bit what's going on here. I'm thinking, oh, why haven't I used these? Oh my goodness, how yummy and scrumptious does that look? Absolutely love how that looks. That's just gorgeous. So I'm just going to staple that on. Have I got my Tim Holtz stapler here? Yep. So I'm just going to staple that on. Oops, just like that. Oh my goodness, I love how that looks. And then I'm just going to stitch around this on the sewing machine. I may then add a wax seal, I'm not sure. So let's do another one of these and kind of see how we can, you know, mix it up and do some other variations on it. So this time I'm going to learn my lesson. I'm going to do all of my stamping first because I think that would have been better, you know, and probably, yeah, would work better. So let's just take the other half of the paper that we've got left and do our stamping around. So, and obviously you could mix this up by doing, sorry, just checking which way is the right way out. You could mix this up by doing different colour stamping. You know, you don't have to always do black. I mean, I'm doing black because, you know, that's probably my favourite colour stamp to, you know, to do. But, you know, you don't have to do that. You could mix it up and do all sorts of colours, you know. You could mix it up and do different stamps. You don't have to kind of stick with the same ones. Again, I'm just using this set because this is the set that I just happen to have to hand here today. But, you know, you could use, I mean, for instance, the flourish stamp that I absolutely love and use all the time. That would look awesome. A script stamp would look awesome. You know, I think there's lots of different stamps and things that would look really, really nice with this. I'll just take this one. Okay. And again, I don't know how big the torn hole is going to be for this. You know, so I'm just going to kind of stamp around like that. Now, I did love that stamp there. In fact, what I'm going to do, I think, for this one, is I'm going to put it on here, and then I'm going to kind of cut this out and attach this separately, I think. Just again, for sort of more, you know, a different look again. So take that and then again, just going to stamp that number stamp. I loved how that looked. Absolutely loved it. Stamp it there. Okay. Put that down there. Right. Just cut that one out. Okie dokie. Like that. And we will just ink that one up. Okay. Like that. Right. How yummy does that look? Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. Right. Okay. And then take this. Now, again, just got to cut this down really here. So I'm just using, you know, where I cut last time as a bit of a guide. Like that. And I'm going to just cut it down slightly in terms of height because it's quite tall otherwise. Okay. Like that. Right. Now, which picture are we going to use? So... oh, we could have these ladies actually, couldn't we? I mean, I was going to cut them like that, but to be honest, we might quite like to have them poking out here. Oh, we could have had it off that way, couldn't we? Oh, perhaps I'll stick with this one for this, and then perhaps we'll come back. Yeah, I might not get time today, but perhaps we'll come back another day and do some more of these. They're pretty fun. And, you know, like all these things, as you do them, you get other ideas and kind of think, oh, actually, it would look cool with this, or, you know, I could try this on it. So, yeah, I've got lots of other kind of things like going around in my mind of what we could try with these. So, I'll just, for today, try this, and then, you know, hopefully come back and do some other things on another. Oh, I mean, even that looks really cool, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm just going to quickly open this up slightly more. Okay, so again, just tear this back. Okay. Right. So this is not as exaggerated as that other one. I've kind of like, yeah, been a bit more reserved with my, you know, bending those bits back. But I think it's still fine. It's still working quite nicely. Right, going to try and be a bit more careful with this book page this time. So just inking over like that, so that my image is a bit more coloured. And then again, just inking in here. So I'm, you know, making this look a bit more ruggedy. Ruggedy? Not sure. Ruggedy and raggedy. Okay, like that. Right. Love how that looks. So, yeah, let's move this out of the way. So again, just going to glue this down now onto that book page, and then I will obviously trim around there. So let's just get the glue. Okay. And again, just avoiding that edge piece, just because, you know, that's going to be very difficult to obviously, you know, make that sort of pattern. So, you know, why make your life difficult? Why not just ignore that bit altogether? Okay, so I have obviously had to go over. So I'm going to have a lot of glue now on the desk because I hadn't really noticed that just before, but that's fine. I can obviously just wipe that off. So, yep, we'll just glue this down. Like that. Okay. So now just mop up the desk. And then just, yep, stick it down from the other side. Okay, right, let's trim that down. Like that. Okay. And then here, like this. And here now, oops. Okay, right. So, yep, loving how that looks. Now, just quickly mop that little bit of extra glue. I must have missed that just now. That's weird, isn't it? Okay. Might have to just take this down slightly more in terms of width, because it was looking a little bit like it was, you know, it wouldn't really fit on a page, I think, as it was. So, okay, that looks really nice, doesn't it? Now, I've got the circle here. Have to say it's kind of lost its identity a bit, this circle. Can't really kind of tell what it's actually saying or anything, but that's fine. Again, just kind of like cut that out. Okay. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? And then again, just rough that up a bit. And then we can obviously put that down somewhere. And the other thing was I didn't stamp that 15 cents stamp on here. And actually, to be honest, I think that was perhaps one of my favourite stamps on here. So I'm going to put that on there as well. Because I think actually in hindsight, it needs that one. You know, I think that one looked really nice. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous does that look? I mean, you know, this is like super simple, isn't it? It's got nothing... you know, tricky or anything else going on. I mean, literally we've stamped and we've just put that picture in there. But how awesome does that look? The second that actually it's this piece here, the second you put that there, it takes it all to another level, doesn't it? It just looks amazing. So yeah, I absolutely love how that looks. So let's just quickly staple this on. Like that, and I'm going to kind of leave it flapping. Now again, just rough up my edges so that I can ink around. Okay. and then just, yeah, ink the whole thing so it's got a even grungier look than it has already. Oh my goodness, I love how this looks so much. Honestly, this is like a bit of an addictive thing because, you know, like I say, as I'm doing this, more and more things are going through my head and I'm thinking, oh, I could try this, I could try that. Yeah, and the worst bit is when I finish the video, of course, all those things will leave my memory and, you know, I won't remember any of the things that I actually was thinking I could try. That's what normally happens, isn't it? Right, but I do have a little bit of lace here, just lingering around under the desk. So let's just pull this in. Okay. I don't know whether this will look good or not, but hey, let's just try it. Oh, I love how that looks. Now, do we like it? Yeah, probably on this side. So I think what I'm going to do is just probably take this whole thing to the sewing machine. I will perhaps just glue this lace down. Oops, just glue this lace down a bit because it will just, you know, hold it so it doesn't move, you know, between now and getting to the sewing machine. So like that, okay. Right. Okay, I'm off to the sewing machine and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I'm back from the sewing machine and I've stitched this one round the actual picture itself and round the edges. So just to kind of show you, you know, the difference between them. So this one, obviously I've stitched around the edge. I didn't stitch down this edge because of course it's, you know, in sort of bits, if you know what I mean. So I just stitched around the inner edge and then I stitched around the edge here, which worked okay, I think. I didn't do that on this one because, of course, this has got the lace as well, and I didn't want to kind of clutter it up and have too much going on. And actually, looking at it now, I think probably it could have still, you know, still taken it. I don't think it would have looked too cluttered with the stitched, you know, stitch edge in there as well. But, you know, yeah, just I didn't want to kind of clutter it really. So that is those. I mean, I can't tell you how much I love them. They're really, just fun to make and yeah, super really nice, different kind of look. So I'm definitely going to be back and we're going to do some of these with some other things. So yeah, I hope that you'll join me for some other ideas with these and yeah, have fun if you decide to do some stuff like this with your pictures and your book pages and things. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys soon. Thanks then. Bye.